We've all experienced this at some point or another. You're out on a date with a girl, and things seem to be going pretty well. The conversation is flowing effortlessly, the laughs seem to be coming with ease, and the two of you seem to be very into one another. And then out of the blue, she says something that makes your stomach turn. You know the comments, the ones that make it pretty clear that she's just not that into you, or even worse, that she has an ulterior motive for even being out with you in the first place. Comments like these can be a tough pill to swallow. However, if you understand what they are in advance, you'll be able to spot them before spending too much time and energy with the woman that you are out with. And while every woman is different, and obviously there are always exceptions to the rule, there are certain things that women generally tend to say that are obvious red flags. So if you hear any of these 6 things coming from a woman you're dating, it's time to leave her and head for the hills. Number 1. She's self-righteous, and you're always wrong. No one can be right all the time, and no one is always wrong. This sort of thinking is incredibly polarizing, and it's not helpful in any way, shape, or form. This will only lead to conflict and drama, as you're both are attempting to prove that you're right. If she's constantly thinking that she's right, this means she's not open to new ideas or different perspectives. This narrow-minded thinking will eventually lead to a lack of interest, as you'll have nothing new to discuss or learn from one another. It's important to be able to see things from different points of view, which is what the two of you should be aiming for in a relationship. If she's not willing to do this, then it will be hard for the two of you to grow and connect on a more intimate level. This is a really disastrous way of thinking, and will only lead to arguments, bitterness, and ultimately a breakup. If you find yourself in a situation like this with a woman, it's critical to discuss it. If she's not willing to change her way of thinking, then it may be time to move on. Number 2. Blame you for things that are out of your control. We all have our blemishes and imperfections. However, if she's constantly pointing out yours and critiquing you for them, it is a massive red flag. No one is flawless, and everyone has something about them that they would want to change. But when she's constantly making an issue about your flaws and expecting you to change for her, it says that she's not really interested in who you are as a person. She's more interested in who she wants you to be, and that's not healthy for either one of you. If you find yourself being constantly chastised or put down, it's time to move on. Of course, constructive criticism is completely different than tearing someone down. However, if she can't seem to find anything good or nice to say about you, then it's probably time to call it quits. Many times, women will use criticism as a way to try and manipulate the man that they are dating. If she's constantly finding flaws with you, it's her way of trying to control your behavior. This is not only harmful, but it's also a huge red flag. You should never feel like you have to change who you are in order to appease someone else. I'm not talking about making minor adjustments like quitting smoking since she doesn't like it. I'm talking about changing your entire lifestyle to fit hers. Chastising you for things you can't control is also a form of gaslighting, which is a psychological strategy used to gain power over someone. If she's constantly making you question yourself or your reality, then something is definitely up. Spending time on things that are out of your control is a huge waste of time, and it's not worth your energy or mental sanity. Number 3. Giving you ultimatums or conditions for the relationship. If she's constantly giving you ultimatums, she's not interested in compromise or working things out. All she wants is her way, and she doesn't care about your needs or wants. This kind of behavior is self-centered and immature, and is not the foundation of a healthy relationship. Ultimatums are a form of manipulation, and are not an effective way to communicate. This is particularly true if she is constantly threatening to break up with you if you don't do what she wants. No one likes to be extorted or pressured into doing something, and it's not a healthy way to live your life. When someone gives ultimatums, the focus is always on what you can do for them, instead of what they can do for you. This kind of thinking is incredibly selfish, and not beneficial to a healthy, happy relationship. Plus, it creates an environment of timidness and mistrust, which is the opposite of what you want in a relationship. Rather than an ultimatum, try to have an open and honest conversation about what the two of you are looking for. If she's not willing to compromise or meet you halfway, then it's a sign that it's not worth your time and energy. Number 4. Expecting you to do something without asking for it. This is especially true as she's asking for things outside the normal scope of what someone would usually do for the person that they're dating. When she expects you to read her mind or just automatically know what she wants, she is not only being unreasonable, but also showing that she doesn't respect your autonomy. Of course, part of being in a relationship is trying to make your partner satisfied, however you should always be doing so on your own accord, not because you feel like you have to. This mind-reading game is not only unfair, but it's also a massive red flag. If she can't be bothered to ask you about your day or how you're feeling, it's a good indicator that she doesn't really care about you. Plus, this game of guessing not only sets the stage for further conflict down the road, it can also be incredibly draining. If you constantly have to guess what she wants or needs, then it's time to move on. You are not her personal assistant, and you deserve to be with someone who recognizes and respects that. Number 5. Negative attitude and constantly talking bad about others. Gossiping about the people in her life is one thing. However, if she's constantly talking bad about other people, this says a lot about her character. If she's like an energy vampire who feeds off of spreading negativity, it will be toxic for your relationship in the long run. You don't need that negativity in your life, as it will destroy your good vibes and anything positive coming in your direction. Plus, if she's always talking bad about other people, it's only a matter of time before she starts talking bad about you. It's human nature to gossip and talk about other people. However, if she's doing it all the time, it says a lot about her character and who she is on the inside. If you are constantly bombarded with negativity from this woman, it's time to move on. Women who talk badly about other people are usually doing so because they have low self-esteem and lack confidence. They feel the need to put others down in order to make themselves feel better. This is a huge red flag, and it's not something you want to deal with in a serious, long-term relationship. Respecting each other is a huge part of any relationship, and if she can't even respect the people around her, it's doubtful she'll be able to respect you in the long run. This lack of respect will only lead to further conflict down the road. Number 6. Love bombing. This is probably one of the biggest relationship red flags that a woman can display. Love bombing is when your partner invests a lot of time and energy into the relationship straight away, with the expectation of the guy to feel dependent and obligated to her in return. She may talk extensively about your future together, show you kindness, and make grandiose claims of love, in an effort to win your heart before breaking it. This sort of manipulation can be closely related to the previous example of gaslighting. Love bombing is a relationship destroyer, since narcissists are more likely to engage in it. It goes hand in hand with other toxic relationship behaviors like emotional abuse and psychological manipulation. Well, these are some points to consider if you think your partner is displaying some of the red flags we just discussed in this video. It's not always easy to confront these things, however, having a healthy relationship is critical. If you're unsatisfied with how things are going, it's necessary to communicate with each other and try to work things out. If she's not willing to change or compromise her behavior, just keep in mind that you always have the option to walk away.